This episode is sponsored by Gamergy, the gaming energy drink made by gamers for gamers. Check it out in 4 great flavors: Purple Nurple, Red Alert, Binary Blue, and Epic Green. Alright guys, we're back here at Wizard World, getting a little, our feet are getting a little, tired here. Our dogs are definitely barking, so we're going to take a chill, kind of relax here. But I have my good friend Larry from Ghostspider Cosplay here. Oh, Larry, I've already been having so much fun. How about you today?
Oh, I've been having a blast. So many awesome cosplayers here. Stan Lee, of course.
Stan Lee, I just got my picture taken with him. I can't tell you how, it was 5 seconds literally in and out, but it was an experience that will be with me till the day I die. But I want to let you guys know that we are sponsored by Gamergy, the gaming energy drink made by gamers for gamers, with only 5 grams of sugar and no high fructose corn syrup. If it's not in your comic book stores or your gaming stores, tell them you want it. Tell them you want to try it. Tell them you get a trial run of it, or even order it for themselves. But Larry, I got a few questions for you today. We're gonna even go further in depth than we did at Cedar Rapids Comic-Con where we first met. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good. So, what initially got you into the world of cosplay?
When I was younger, my cousin Ben dressed as Spider-Man for children's hospitals and such. And I thought that was the coolest thing, And when I grew up and I discovered comic conventions, I realized there was a whole other world of people like that. And I realized, hey, this is something I could do, because I've always loved costumes. I've always loved masks. My very first one was Rorschach from Watchmen that I threw together the day of the con.
Okay,
but since then, I have made so many different costumes, a lot of them different versions of Spider-Man, one of which I'm wearing today, the 1930s cult classic Spider-Man Noir.
Spider-Man Noir, which I did not even know existed until Larry introduced me to it, so thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Whole new thing for me to check out. But, so how long have you been cosplaying?
I'd say near 5 years now.
5 years, wow. That's way longer than me, but... So, Ghostspider Cosplay, it's an interesting name. How did you get it?
Originally, I was the amazing Scarlet Spider, because that was my prominent character, the Scarlet Spider. Eventually, I tried to think of something different because I wanted to do different things. I then transitioned to the Marvelous Spider-Man, but then I wanted to do even more characters besides just him in different versions. Still my most prominent character, but still. And eventually I thought of my 2 favorite fictional characters, the Phantom of the Opera and Spider-Man. Opera Ghost, Spider-Man, Ghost Spider. It was quick, easy, something that suited me really well, and from then on I've been Ghostspider Cosplay.
Well, I think it's an interesting name. It definitely makes you think about it, like how, you hear other names, you understand the background behind it, but it's a little bit interesting. So, what are your favorite and least favorite cosplays you've done in the past?
My absolute favorites currently are Spider-Man, my new homemade homecoming suit, which you will see on Sunday from the new movie.
Well, we will get pictures of every day, okay?
Venom.
Okay.
And the Punisher.
Punisher? Do you have a least favorite?
I do. My least favorite costume I've ever worn was my Mr. Freeze that I wore for one event. And it looked great. It really did. It was for a hockey game. My friend had built it up for me, but there was no way to ventilate it. And thank God it was winter outside, because it was so overheating. The heavy suit, the big tanks on my back, the helmet restricted. I couldn't breathe. I had to take it off every 5 seconds, and the makeup, it was a nightmare. I've never worn Mr. Freeze again, and I've been very grateful that I switched my primary Gotham villain from Mr. Freeze to the Scarecrow.
Well, I gotta tell you right now that we're thankful that it was winter too, because we all know what happens to Mr. Freeze during summer. But I actually printed off a favorite of yours too, and I believe it's the same one that was your absolute favorite, was Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh yeah, Scarlet Spider.
It's just, I like it when I can see people not only do fun cosplays, but to introduce the concept of, it's not that hard. Put a couple items together, you have a great costume. I love that. That's what I love about this picture so much. But so when you have an idea for a cosplay, could you take us through the process of what you go through to make that come to life?
Okay, so my primary source of costume materials is thrift stores.
Okay.
Because, I'm a college student. I really don't have that much money to spare.
Gotcha.
I think of how can I break this down in a way that's affordable and yet looks great. Like, for example, when I did Spider-Man Noir, this isn't the first version of the outfit, but probably the best one. I went down to the Salvation Army down the street from my house. I looked through the different clothing. I found the vest and the sweater, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. And I picked them up, for less than $6. I added a little bit of fabric paint to the mask, which is actually just a lycra ski mask, slightly stitched up. And I also did the logo for the back.
Okay.
Similar to the depiction on the video game Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, in which Noir is one of the 4 playable characters.
Okay.
And then I just mixed it up with whatever else I had. Like, my boots are combat boots that my dad wore in his Vietnam days.
Okay.
And the rest of it was just either stuff I bought from the thrift store or stuff I already had. Like, there are a lot of times where when I want to do a new costume and there are ones I don't really wear anymore, I will take pieces from them. And sometimes I just mix it up with my own clothing.
Well, see, guys, that shows you how easy it is. It's just as easy as using your imagination, grabbing stuff at the thrift store, grabbing stuff you already have, throwing it together, and just going out and having some fun with it. But how many cosplays have you done to date?
Oh, I'll try to name. I may not get all of them because I've done so many over the years.
Okay, I'll keep a running count. Ready?
Okay. Rorschach, Guy Gardner Green Lantern, Jay Garrick the Flash, Classic Spider-Man, Mangaverse Spider-Man, Zombie Spider-Man, the Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man Noir, obviously, Venom, The Question.
Oh, I love the question. Okay, so we're at 10 now. Let's keep going.
Oh boy, I've lost track, honestly.
Well, I mean, still 10's an impressive amount. I mean, I've been cosplaying for barely 3 years, and I've only got 4 under my belt. So
I've got 2 other ones coming up. I will be also doing Captain Cold, and
Okay.
the one I'm going to do immediately after Wizard World, which I'm really looking forward to, Black Adam.
Black Adam, that sounds cool. This is a pretty silly question to ask because we already kind of have an idea. But do you like to cosplay characters from certain genres, or do you have what I like to call ooh syndrome?
Now, for me, it has to be characters that I know and know well, or at
Okay.
least know a little bit of.
Okay, makes sense.
It has to be characters I'm really passionate about, and there are times where I will do my own spin on it, just for creative control, and just because I'm an artist at heart, and that's what I do.
Okay.
But if I want to see a character, I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, I'll have to look them up and learn everything about them, because if I don't know the character, I am not interested.
See, I feel the same way. I only like to do characters that I know a lot about. Like, I have a few characters in the future that I'm going to be doing, hopefully, maybe for Anime Iowa, I hope to get done. But if it's something I'm not passionate about, I feel like it would be a waste of my time,
Yeah.
you know? So, that's just how I feel. But, alright, is there a cosplayer that inspires you?
There's a few.
Okay.
One of them would be T-Stunning Spidey, who is...
T-Stunning Spidey. We'll look him up so we can maybe get a shot or something,
Yeah.
so people can find his channel.
He's fantastic.
Okay.
One of my favorite Spider-Men.
Okay.
And the others, there are 2 others. Abby Darkstar,
Okay.
who she has absolutely captured my heart as far as cosplay ladies go. She's so funny, so creative, and she warms my heart every time I see her. And
I'm gonna have to look her up.
you should. She's amazing. And the third and final would have to be my best friend, Curly Q Cosplay.
Who we will be meeting sometime this weekend.
You know, she's my closest friend. She always encourages me, and her cosplay is always she brings so much energy and so much fun into it that you can't help but love her no matter what it is. Whether it's Harley, her favorite, Raven, Stevani from Steven Universe. She just does so much, and it's so much fun, and I'm so glad to have someone like that be one of my closest friends.
Well, guys, just so I can back up here for a moment, I want you guys to know that I have interviewed Larry from Ghostspider Cosplay and Curly Q Cosplay before at Cedar Rapids Comic Con in my Comic Con Conversation segment. So I challenge you to go check that out and see what the difference is between then and now. I think I've become a little more professional. What do you think? I mean, I got a microphone, you know, this is new.
Oh, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Sci-Fi's new Cosplay Melee show, and is there any possible interest in maybe jumping into it in the future?
On one hand, I love these competition shows, and Cosplay Melee is one that I'm extremely fond of. It's a fun show.
Okay.
But I do not feel that my skill set is yet up to par to be competitive.
Okay.
Keyword here being yet. Because even though I've done this...
I like that.
Because, you know, I've been doing this for half a decade now, but the thing about me that I've noticed that I'm most proud of is that with every suit, every costume I do, I always improve. Like, compared to my first Spider-Man costumes to the ones I wear now, if you look back on my old stuff, you'll see a dramatic upgrade over the years. And that's mostly from the same materials. I just figured out better ways of doing it. And maybe I will get there at some point, you know, if I dedicate enough time to it. But, you know, I do this to have fun. I'm not here to compete. I'm not here to say I'm the best. I do it because I'm here to have fun. And, you know, maybe I'll step on stage just to show off. But bottom line,
I think that might be what the word play in cosplay comes from.
Absolutely.
I love to use that joke. Well, now we're going to get to a little touchy subject. I'm gonna reiterate every time, guys, that personally I don't care. Cosplay is cosplay. That's my opinion. Wear what you want, be comfortable, and do what you wish. But of course, there's always negativity everywhere, so we want to nip it in the butt and give our opinions and tell you what we feel. What is your opinion on glamour cosplay? And glamour cosplay is supposed to be like taking a standard character like Batman and sexying him up or something like that. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I'm super cool with it. Because, you know, cosplay is about fun and making it your own. And I alter my own costumes all the time. Like, I will do it as close to the comic as possible, or just for fun, I will spiffy it up, make it my own. And that's how I see glamour cosplay, you know, just making it your own, having fun with it. You know, and people who say, oh, it's not real cosplay, it's just underwear. Shut up. Let's be real. I
agree with that. I agree with that.
I'm sorry, but the one thing I do have a problem with is cosplay elitism, where there are some people who feel that they have a feeling of superiority to others based on the quality of their costume, which I do have a problem with. You know, it takes the fun out of it and may make people feel less about their costumes if it's not up to snuff or whatever, and I've definitely had my fair share. But at the end of the day, you know, glamour cosplay, whatever reasons you do it, just be nice and have fun. Like, my thing with other cosplayers is to encourage others. Like, if you're using your cosplay to bring others down to make yourself feel better, then in my eyes, you're not a cosplayer. You're just a jerk in fancy duds.
Well, I think we can all agree with that. It's cosplay. We're here to have fun. We're here to have a good time. So we've nipped that in the butt. Let's get that out of the way. So let's get back to some fun topics. You've already talked about how you love Spider-Man. You've done so many iterations of him. Is there a dream Spider-Man cosplay that you'd like to do that you haven't done yet?
As far as Spider-Man goes, the one I would like to do most?
And we're talking like, let's say I had a briefcase full of money here. You had the skill set. I handed you the skill set and the briefcase full of money. We're going to let you do it. You're going to do anything you want. What's it going to be?
It will probably be the Superior Spider-Man with the robotic tentacles, because that would be super cool.
That would be interesting. That would be cool. Like, you know, get some springs or something. Maybe a couple strings connected to your arms to move the tentacles.
Yeah. I do have a dark side, which I bring out in my cosplay, which is why you see just as many villains as you do heroes. And with the Superior Spider-Man, I love the storyline, and I feel I could bring both my dark side and my love of Spider-Man together, and it would just be so cool to see.
All right. Well, we're gonna barrel down what cosplay means to you. So what does cosplay personally mean to you?
Well, it has so many different meanings. On one hand, it's just putting on a costume and having fun. But to others, it could be a feeling of transcendence, you know? When my mask is on, I'm not just Larry, business student. I really am Spider-Man in the eyes of others, and I'm able to think his thoughts. I'm able to feel his feelings, and it's being yourself, but being someone else entirely through that costume, and it's breathtaking once you really get that feeling of it.
I really like that. It's a really cool aspect. You know, that's what, to me, it's what cosplay is. It's not. One of my favorite cosplays. I wear it all the time. In fact, you'll see me in it on Sunday. Is Snorlax. You know what? I'm a big guy. I understand that, and I don't let anything get me down. I love cosplaying big characters too, because I just embrace that about myself. I am Snorlax when I wear that cosplay. I am not Caleb anymore. But so we're gonna go into a little quick round here. I call it the Sith Lightning round, where I'm gonna give you one choice or another, and without thinking, give me your first thought. Which one do you like more? Okay. So, Pokemon or Digimon?
Pokemon.
All right. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Sci-fi or fantasy?
Sci-fi.
Anime or manga?
Manga.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars all the way.
All right, we got the right answers there, folks. But so are there any secret projects you got in the works that maybe you can let us know about? Maybe we'll see in the future here somewhere in the Midwest, or
Black Adam was supposed to be a surprise, but I just couldn't hold it in. You know, I'm terrible at keeping surprises. But I do have a brand new Spider-Man in the works that will be inspired by the works of Todd McFarlane.
Okay.
It will have big white eyes, underarm webbing, which is a first for me.
Like underarm? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And it will probably be my best suit yet. It will blow all my other ones out of the water. And I know how to do it well. And it's just going to be a beautiful suit once I'm done with it.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Do you have any tips or thoughts to anybody out there who maybe is sitting there at home looking at everybody at these conventions? You know, I want to get into it, but maybe it's not for me, or maybe I don't feel comfortable. What are any tips or thoughts you have to those people out at home?
I know that feeling. The first time I wore skin-tight spandex was the Scarlet Spider, and I was nervous because it doesn't leave much to the imagination. And there are a couple times where I felt really naked, honestly. But over time, you know, with people encouraging me and being in such a positive, encouraging community, my suit went from being this embarrassing thing to wear to like a second skin to me. Like, the thing about cosplay is you grow into it and it grows with you.
All right.
Like, it becomes almost as natural to you as breathing, which is not as easy as it sounds in this mask, but, you know, off topic. Anyway, but just, it's okay to be afraid, but don't let that fear dominate you and try to stop you from doing what you want to do. There's so many wonderful people, and if you don't know where to start, I'm sure there's a person in your area who knows the area well and can help you out, you know, help you build some stuff, because it is a community. Like, there are people who will help you out, people who give you advice, and eventually you'll just build and build and build. Next thing you know, you'll be here with a fantastic, gorgeous man like yourself doing interviews for the interwebs.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh. Well, guys, first of all, I want to thank you, Larry, for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I've gotten to know you even more personally throughout the past few months, just chatting on Facebook once in a while. And Larry, you're a genuine guy. I really appreciate hanging out with you and having a good time. And guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, we are sponsored by Gamergy. I got this lovely new vinyl for my new cooler. I wasn't able to hand out bottles today, unfortunately, because of the event center rules. But I will be handing them out outside the event, giving away some free stuff. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you Sith Lightning that like button. If you're new, use the Force to subscribe. And remember, guys, we are the Force, each and every one of us. So let's connect. And we'll see you at Wizard World Day 2. Bye-bye.